Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related content. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Lego DC The Batman Batmobile The Penguin Chase set. It is set number 76181. It has 392 pieces, and I paid $30 for this set. This set I thought was a pretty good value at $30. 2 minifigures, some accessories, some play features, some cool design. And previously to this, I had already built the Batmobile from the movie The Batman, the Robert Pattinson one, as the Technic model. And I really wanted to see this model too, because if you've seen my other videos, I often talk about how I like comparing different scale sets and different models of the same kind of reference. So I have the big Technic one and I have this one. I bought this around the same time as the Miles Morales Morbius set that is a Miles Morales vehicle. And I kind of lump these together a little bit because 2 minifigures, a hero, a villain, a comic book thing, a car, and some accessories and some play features. And the Miles Morales car I did really like. That set only had 220 pieces and was $25. So this set is $5 more, but 170 more pieces, which makes it, in my mind, this set is the better value if you're trying to maximize your value or you're deciding on one or the other. This would be my pick, but I do really like them both. Standard instruction booklet for the movie looks pretty nice. We get to see some of the play features here, but in this video I'm going to kind of just go over this whole set and we'll talk about everything and give you a chance to look at everything, and then I may compare it to the Technic model, and I may also look at it side by side with the Miles Morales vehicle, just for fun there. So I think the first thing we will take a look at is the minifigures. And so I will get Batman prepared here with one of his accessories, if I can get him to hold it. There we go. So, like I said, there's 2 minifigures in here. The first one we will look at is Batman. And this Batman minifigure is pretty sweet. Right now he is holding a Batarang, I believe. It's just 2 bat wings with a bar element in between there. And we do get an extra one of these Batarangs accessories for play features, for dual wielding them, whatever reason. So that's very nice. The cowl piece here is a nice mold, and we can see the face print through there with a little bit of Batman's smirk and the white eyes behind there. The printing on the torso here is really nice. So much detail of this kind of metallic silver and the utility belt and around the logo there. Tons of good detail on that print. That continues to the midsection, some great printing in there, and down onto the legs we have printing and even more kind of fine detail. This is a really good minifigure. I don't think it's exclusive. I don't know what other sets it comes in. Really nice. The arms, no printing on the arms. Yeah, that would make it even better. But just this torso, midsection, and leg print are very good. And something that I missed from the other set that I referenced, the Miles Morales set, didn't have leg printing. So this gets a big bonus points for that. If we lift up the cape and look at the back, another great print here on the back, including some stuff that I don't remember, but I feel like I should know what it is from the movie. But either way, really, really good printing on the back, and I like the colors. We do have a cape element. This is one of the ones that is one hole. We also have, I will take off the cowl and see, this is the minifigure face. Now, it has eyes on it, but it has that white band, almost like a headband there. I was kind of confused at that at first, but the way that this cowl sits here, you still see the mouth. The white band makes the eyes white, so the actual eyes that are here are get covered up by this cowl, and that's kind of smart. If we turn to the back, we get a Batman with a slightly different expression, and the cowl can go on there, have the white eyes, and still see the mouth. Really, really cool. But that's not all. We also get an extra Batman head and hairpiece here. So we have the cowl and the head for that, and then we get this, which is like a Bruce Wayne headpiece and hairpiece there. So this is Robert Pattinson, and the hair is okay, not exactly like the movie. The expression's all right, but this head, just like the last one, has another expression on the back. So you get an extra minifigure head in here to do Bruce Wayne, to do Batman in the cowl, out of the cowl, whatever you like. I personally really like it with the cowl on and the sort of open-faced grin there. But really nice that you get those options. You don't always get stuff like that included in a set. So that's a big plus for me, and I love this print. Besides that, this is the Batmobile, the Penguin Chase. So we get another minifigure of the Penguin. Colin Farrell's the Penguin from the new The Batman movie. And he is in a suit and a coat here, and kind of like a trench coat there, looking penguin-esque in some ways. And again, we get great detail on the print. Some of these pinstripes are really fine. Oh, the detail on his tie is so tiny. And let's see if I can find it in here. Well, there is an immense amount of even detail in the tie and the shirt, and where the tie meets the collar there. Pinstripe suit here. We get the lapels, the button, then this coat on the outside. There's printing on the midsection, continuing the suit and the pinstripes and the outer coat. And there's printing on the legs, again, continuing that pinstripe pattern and this outer coat there. Very, very cool. Really like the printing on this. If we turn to the back is simple compared to the front, but even there's some nice detail indicating some stitching here on the back of his jacket. No printing on the arms. Really good print, I think. We get one. Whoops. Apologies for that. Slipped out of my hand. We get a pretty detailed print for the face. Ugly little penguin there. And the hairpiece. And if we turn it around, we get another face expression with some similar details and scarring or wrinkling here, and just a different expression. Very cool. Very happy with the minifigures in here. And the penguin gets his own kind of accessories. I believe he can wield this accessory here, and he can also wield this kind of almost bazooka looking thing over his shoulder there, which is pretty sweet looking, like that. And then this is a stud shooter, so this can be loaded with some studs that they include and can have some extra action, some extra play there. I think how this comes over the shoulder works really, really well. So some nice accessories for the penguin. With the minifigures looked at and talked about, we can move on to the Batmobile. And this is great. So this is bigger than the Miles Morales car by a pretty significant margin. This is bigger than a lot of Speed Champions cars. I would say this is certainly longer than many of them. I don't know how many studs wide it is here. This looks like 8, but at the back it is maybe more like 10 here at the very back, and the wheels come out a bit in the front. The other thing I'm going to do is point out one of the play features so I don't accidentally trigger that. So besides the stud shooter for the Penguin, we have these, I can't remember what they're called, but they're the spring-loaded what are these called? I don't know. They shoot these kind of spear baton kind of projectiles. I don't know what they are. So those are spring-loaded. This currently has them in there. And one of the things I like about this set is that they're not just ones where you push down on the back of them to make them shoot, or push them out to make the spring activate. It has the activation, almost did it, integrated into the set in a really neat way, and they can fire individually. So if I press one, we get a shot there, and if I press the other, we get a shot there. So we get a really cool action feature there, and these won't stay up without the bolts. I guess that's what they call them, like a bolt shooter or whatever. Without these silver bolts in there, this doesn't rest up. I don't mind that. From many angles, you can't see that yellow underneath there. That's okay. I do wish maybe it would rest flat without that, but it's such a minor complaint, and I can easily store it with the bolts in there, just because I'm going to be handling it here. I don't want to accidentally trigger those. So that is one of the awesome play features of this set. And now we can kind of just look at all the detail here. Interesting thing, like the Miles Morales set, this set has some of these transparent light blue molded elements that come in, like the Miles Morales set, a kind of pack. They don't get parted out. So we can see here, I will show, there are some that are not used, that you could have and use for other things. But besides that, we have these kind of fire molded things coming out of the top, out of the side here behind the tires, and then back out of the big sort of thruster at the back of this engine on this car, which, if you've seen the movie, there's a pretty awesome scene when this revs up. And then, similar to Spider-Man, this is constructed with a couple different versions of those pieces there. One of the things I will also point out is the Miles Morales set had prints, but not a ton of them. There wasn't a ton of detail. This set does have stickers. Sticker here on the front. If we look at the grill, we have stickers on the side here. Stickers right, a sticker right there. Another one over here on the side. If we look at like the door in the side, you may have noticed this door. This is a sticker, very subtle. Color matching with black, usually okay. Usually not too big of a deal here. But this one, it's like a big black sticker on the thing just for those like little dots, you know, just for those little like almost like they would be screws or something, just some little black dots there. So a pretty minor detail. I don't know if it makes the set or doesn't, and if it could mean one less thing, but I think there's kind of a Batman assembling this Batmobile. There's an element to it that it was made just from like a classic car, and so maybe those are weld marks. We can see that same kind of theme here goes to the top, where we also have either weld marks or screws or bolts on this sticker here on the roof, and same with the one over on this door. Going to the back then, We have stickers here for lights. These work really, really cool, and they're subtle from many angles. You might not really see them just the way that these wedge pieces are used. So that looks great. Speedometer piece is a print. And then looking towards the inside here, a more robust like internal stuff than the Miles Morales car, but as you can see in the center console we have a sticker, and on the dash there we have another sticker here, and not too bad. I like the extra detail here. We've got a steering wheel, a little thing in the center, and that's all pretty cool. And I like how this attaches, and I like the extra silver back here, and maybe a place to store some batarangs in there. Really nice. I think that's all the stickers. I hope I didn't miss any. If I did, maybe I'll spot them as we go through this. Some similar building techniques in here that are kind of like a Speed Champions thing. Some nice detail on the side and some building on the side. Uses a lot of like sub-assembly kind of things to bring it all together, and we can see that even up here in the mirror, or up on the rather the grill. Get these trans elements for lights, and kind of some you can see some of the pieces of maybe sub builds that are put together and connected and studded down. The shaping on the front is really great, and I like this. I like the integrated mechanism for play. I love how these pop up out the top. Really great attention to detail there. This is, a kind of boxy, straight car. It doesn't have nearly as many sort of angles as the Miles Morales car, so this kind of continues back. I don't know if it's a Camaro or what it's actually a takeoff from, but really nice. And then it kind of flares out here at the back to have this really nice line going to the rear and to the engine. It doesn't use Speed Champion wheels, uses a bigger rubber wheel that come in two pieces, and then we put these kind of rounded 1x1 tiles on there for the rim or whatever. Back, awesome detail. A lot of silver. Some of it is the metallic drum lacquered silver. Some of it is more of like the pearl silver there. A lot of different pieces, including some ones I wasn't super familiar with, to make this whole engine construction. So we can see we can move these. I don't know if they're pistons or what the deal is, what part of the engine this is. Oh, I did forget some stickers. So another one's kind of easy to miss right here on these sloped elements there. That is a sticker. And same on the other side, just peeking out under the engine there. And when it's all assembled, it adds a really nice detail, easy to miss. Those are the kind of stickers that I'm very much okay with. So that looks awesome. This disc here is printed, which is nice, and you do get an extra one of those there. And this whole construction just looks brilliant to me. Uses kind of some Technic-like pieces there, bucket pieces or whatever these are, coming off as different parts of the engine, and just from so many angles, the exposed engine on this thing looks terrific. Great for the scale, great for the model. Really appreciate that. The angled in here at the back, it slopes back down and dips. Everything works really well for me on this car. But like I say, it's a slightly different scale than like a Speed Champions or the Miles Morales set. I don't know if I really have many complaints about this vehicle at all. If we take a look at the bottom, we can see it doesn't use a stereotypical chassis because it is longer. There is some, I don't know what the word for it is, but I will say like tilt. These wheels at the back are, or the back end of this is higher than the front end, so it leans forward a little bit. Very cool. It's achieved pretty easily. There's just some extra plates in there between this one than there is up front to get that kind of effect. Really, really nice build ultimately, and Batman can be in there. It can be chasing the Penguin. Penguin could be potentially studded down in there as well. There's this other hidden element in the driver's side, which I don't know what they're supposed to be, if it's just detail. But underneath this sticker and this slope, if you see in there, almost like would be in the glove compartment, there are two kind of round, light bluish gray plates, but those are the plates that are like the flower plates or the flower studs. So I don't know what those are supposed to be exactly, but it's like just another aspect, another level of detail in there that I really, really appreciate. So if anyone knows what those are, I would love to know. Just thrilled about this. Everything here is good. This actually works really, really well using those. Used to be the trans black or like whatever. I think it's the trans dark brown now, but using a couple plates and then this kind of tiled element here, it from the side gives a really nice effect there, so I like that a lot. If we look at the back, there is another kind of really dark translucent element there, so you can just vaguely see these pieces through this brick. It's just a dark tan, like, or dark translucent kind of 1x4 there that we can just kind of see through. And even seeing those hollow studs at the top, pretty cool effect. I don't know if it's intended or not, but it works great for me personally. So this is just loaded with detail. I will now take a moment to, well, why don't I take a moment to look at the Miles Morales car that I recently did a video on. We can see pretty big difference in scale. Sure, the shape and everything is different, but the size, this is so much more weight to it, so much more parts, and the length and everything about this Batmobile is heavier, more robust, bigger, more solid, just more visual weight, more features here. Even though this does have prints and kind of a sleeker angle, this is kind of like the muscle car, and it's just kind of in a whole different thing. If this one was close to Speed Champions, this one's kind of far away from that in some respects, and so pretty big difference here for those sets. This one, 2 minifigures, $25, 220 pieces. This one, 2 minifigures, 392 pieces, and $30. So only $5 difference between these two sets that we are comparing there. And then I would like to grab now, if I can fit everything on here, the Technic version of this vehicle. It is quite big. I have showed it once before, comparing the, I believe the DeLorean to this for whatever reason. And we can see here, they get a lot of stuff right. And I like looking at the same kind of, model done at different scales. So the big chunky wheels here, the whole shaping, the kind of fire elements used. So this one also uses these little molded fire things. This one does also have some nice light up features there, which really add a lot. The little one does not. There's one back here as well, but it's kind of hard to see. But these same like blue kind of flames here, blue flames shooting off the back of this one, the whole like blue flames here, the exposed engine, this blue flame at the back, and there's some really cool features in this. The pistons in there move and the back spins as you rotate these back tires, so a lot of stuff in here, but tons of similarities and great representations of the same kind of vehicle, the same Batmobile done in some different ways done really, really well. I'm not usually a big Technic fan. I prefer brick built stuff. I think there could be a fantastic like icon size version of this Batmobile like there have been for other, like the Tumbler and other Batmobiles in the past. Maybe there's one in the works for this or by the next movie, but that's sort of what these two look like next to each other, and I think they did a great job with both. So having looked at that, having looked at pretty much everything here, I'll get to the extra pieces. There's one last thing I wanted to call out, and that's just a kind of an interesting, subtle piece usage. So, on the side here, these little things, I can kind of move them there. If you see that black piece there, that is a wand element that come attached to you have to kind of break them off of a piece there. Let me see if I have one available that would be similar to this. And I think I do, sort of in arm's reach, but I usually just throw them away. Forgive me for taking up this time to try and grab this thing. There we go. So there's two wands attached on either side of this. You rip them off, you throw this thing away. And I have it here within arm's reach, apparently. But those two wand pieces there, and that's just kind of a detail that makes it's a subtle thing that you might not recognize, and they're stuck in a really cool way. And if I go back to the Technic model, I think those kind of represent these pieces coming off here on the side and sort of the roll cage type build on this thing. So that is just a great attention to detail to have that piece in there. With that covered, I will grab the extra pieces. Like I said, we do get those extra transparent blue blast kind of pieces. We get 4 of these silver bolts, so 2 can be loaded in the vehicle, and you'd have 2 extras. And then we have our extra pieces. I already showed the batarangs, so I'm not going to grab one of those. And I've also already showed this other gun here, and I just dropped a piece. Get some nice extra pieces in here. These are kind of these orange studs, I believe, are the ones that the instructions say are for the Canon stud shooter thing. So those can go in here, push this trigger to shoot them out. We get an extra of this lacquered silver print, which is great, from the back, and then an extra trigger for a stud shooter, some extra transparent pieces here, and then the gray and black. This set is great. I think it's a great value. 2 different heads for the Batman. Great prints on both the minifigures. Alternate faces for both of them. And like I say, I don't always see. Maybe Batman often comes with two heads, one for Bruce Wayne and one for the cowl there. I'm not sure, but accessories, play functions, chunky model, great attention to detail. Huge fan of this set. Now, for price and value, yeah, $30. But if we look at price per piece and the specialty molded pieces and the great minifigures here, I think this set is terrific value. By the end of my review for my Miles Morales one, I thought, that I like this set and I'm fine paying $25 for that. But I am very happy to pay $30 for this Batmobile set. So I think this is really, really, really good. I like it a lot, and if you were looking to buy one of them or interested in both or one or the other, and if that came up, I think for me, in my opinion, I would go with this one 100%. Happy to have both. Like them both a lot. I really, really, really like this this Batmobile, and I like part of that experience for me is having a larger version of it, for sure, as to display and notice all these similarities and the differences and what they get right and what matches, and that brings me a lot of joy. If you like this video, consider giving it a like, and if you like the other videos on my channel, consider subscribing to it so you can stay up to date on all the Lego content I'll be doing in the future, which eventually I will do a video about that Technic Batmobile. And if you like, go back and watch that Miles Morales vs. Morbius set to see more of my thoughts on that car as well. But I have a lot more Lego videos coming in the future. So until then, thanks. Bye.